When people talk to you with this facial expression, I think probably they do not need to tell you that they are angry. Even if they are saying thank you just somehow know that they are mad, right? 1 plus 1, I think you can give me the answer right away. How about 2 times 2? I think you still be able to give me the answer right away. This is how good our brain is. And how about if I ask you 15 times 29? I think this time you probably cannot give me the answer right away. But still, as you dig through your mind, you dig through your memory, you knew it is a multiplication question. It is just that you wasn't able to give me the answer right away. So this is the topic that I want to talk in today's video. We have two brains in our heads. We have the fast brain and also the slow brain. Fast brain is very hardworking. It is working all the time and always stay active, while slow brain is often lazy. When you saw the angry person, 1 plus 1, 2 times 2, this is when your fast brain is working. It can analyze and react right away. But when your fast brain stumble into a more complex problem, it will call slow brain for help. It is like how you saw 15 times 29. But still, remember that fast brain is very hardworking. It stay active all the time. The moment when you saw 15 times 29, your fast brain immediately interpret it as a multiplication question. But slow brain is the one that can help you calculate and solve the problem. So you see, slow brain will only comes into play when you encounter something that require attention and effort. So as we continue with this video, just keep in mind that fast brain is always active and slow brain is often lazy. Now, fast brain generate impressions, intuitions, creative ideas, and also feelings. The moment when you saw the person that is talking to you speak politely, smiling, you will immediately build an impression toward this person. You will feel like, okay, he is a good person, even if this guy is a complete stranger to you. Your slow brain will just take in the information and then turn it into belief. You are more likely to see a person that speak politely or smiling to be a good person in the future. Your slow brain will just take in the information without making much modification before accepting it and turn it into belief. And normally this works fine because most of the things that we do in our daily life are based on common sense. Another thing is like fast brain can also generate ideas out of nowhere, but it cannot make a proper plan on it. Slow brain is the one that can gather all the ideas and make it happen. It is like my YouTube ideas can suddenly appear in my mind as I saw this speaker or as I read this book. But before I can turn them into a video, I need to plan for it, I need to research, I need to write up, I need to record the video obviously, and also edit the video before I can post it to my channel. And all this is done by my slow brain. My fast brain only generate ideas. So you see, fast brain captures something. When it is something that can be solved effortlessly, fast brain will just deal with it. Slow brain will just take in the information and probably won't do much unless it is something that is complex. And usually this flow works fine. It is quite accurate, but not all the time. Although fast brain allow us to act quicker, give us better creativity, intuitions, the impression and feelings that we need, but it is more vigilant to making mistake. And slow brain is more rational. But unfortunately, slow brain is often lazy and fast brain will always act first. So let us talk a little bit about the factor that can affect your fast brain. Number one, we have recent experience. Your recent experience can affect your current decision. Just think of recently you experienced something about eating, about food. So if I ask you to fill in the blank, a word with 4 letters that start with a S and end with a P, you will probably fill up with S-O-U-P, soup, because what you experience lately is about eat, about food. But how about if you experience wash? You recently experienced something about wash. You will probably fill in with S-O-A-P. So you see, your current decision is more likely to be affected by your recent experience. And when something repeat frequent enough, you will feel familiar with it, and familiarity will breed liking. So you are more likely to choose something that is more familiar to you. So if you look at a few options, you don't know what to choose, but you are more likely to choose something that is more familiar to you. Number 2, we have clear display. Just look at these 2 sentences right here. Which one do you think is the truth? As a normal person, as we go through an article or when we're reading a book, when the author suddenly presents the sentence with a different font, we are more likely to believe, okay, this is something important or this is something truth, alright? But you can pause the video now and go to Google and search for Thomas Edison and try to find out which year he was born. You will discover that none of these statements are correct. But still, you can't stop your fast brain to believe the one in both is the truth. And also another example is like when you go through an advertisement poster, alright? Okay, you see that this Marshall speaker is going for sales for $20. You feel, wow, this is very cheap, I better grab one. But normally, we never go and read the terms and conditions that printed with a very tiny small word. We only look at the big numbers, which is $20 for this Marshall speaker. So you see, something that is presented with a clearer display can also affect our fast brain. Number 3, we have mood. Mood is very straightforward and we should understand this. You see, when we're in good mood, we feel very comfortable, we feel very safe. This is a time where we can think more freely because we know the environment is very safe for us to do this. We tend to let our guard down. So it is much easier for us to make mistakes when we are in good mood. On the other hand, when we're in bad moods, alright, when we're in bad mood, we feel everything is not going so well. So we'll be more vigilant, we'll be more careful on whatever we decide to do next. But in turn, we are going to lose our intuitions, our creativity when we're in bad mood. Now, we know that recent experience, clear display, and also mood can somehow affect our fast brain, and it seems like we can do something about it. But still, there are something that can stop us from doing so. Now, look at these two arrows here. One arrow is pointing outward and another is pointing inwards. Now, with your first glance, tell me which horizontal line is longer. Without counting in the fins, only the horizontal line. You can actually pause the video now and bring out your ruler to measure. But I can tell you the answer now. Both lines has equal length. Now you know the truth. But when you look at this again, you just cannot stop your fast brain to think that the lower one is longer, right? You want to believe the measurement, but you cannot stop your fast brain from doing its thing. You just cannot decide if both of the line has equal length, even you know the truth. This is what we call illusions. You see, you have tough time even on something that you can see. But how about mental illusions? The illusion in your mind is not something that you can see. It's not something that you can visualize. So sometimes we tend to simply believe something without knowing the truth. Now, have a look at this. Read it through. Okay, we have ABC on the left and also 12, 13, 14 on the right. Let us just disregard the middle one. The next factor here is what we call context. It is like a car and a bus. We group them into the category of transportation. Banana and apple, we group them as fruit. Everything just belongs to their own category. Now, have a look at this again. Have you noticed the B and the 13 has the same pattern? But still, you won't read them as A, 13C or 12B, 14. So, you see, believing what you see is an automatic operation of your fast brain. Your slow brain probably won't think of alternative in this case. So, we are more likely to jump into conclusion. A, B, C, 12, 13, 14. Now, you see, we have mental illusion. We sometimes simply believe something without knowing the truth. We have context. We jump into conclusion without really study on the pattern. Another example here is that this speaker. When I first got this speaker, right, I turned it on and I saw the indicator on the top is in red color. So immediately my fast brain tell me, just go and grab the charger cable, go and grab the charger and charge up this speaker. But it turns out when I go through the manual again, right, red color is the default color of the indicator. So red color is completely normal. But in a normal electronic device, what color do you see? You normally see green color, right? The battery indicator, when it's full charge, it should be in green color. So red color, which means we need to connect to our charger. But this speaker is another way round. Red color seems to be completely normal. But in this case, our slow brain never come out to think about alternative. And our fast brain make all the decision. It's just like, my fast brain tell me, okay, red color, better grab the charger and charge up the speaker. So this also another example to show that our slow brain is lazy and our fast brain is always active. Well, I love to learn more and more about our brain because sometimes I cannot understand myself. So slow brain Slow brain is the one that can follow rules, monitor our behaviors, and also make better decisions, which is something that fast brain cannot do. So it seems like slow brain should be the main character, right? But remember, slow brain is very, very lazy. So part of least resistance is always preferred by the slow brain. And slow brain has limited resources. Just think of when you're jogging with your friend at the park, okay, you guys can casually talk while you jog, something about 1 plus 1, 2 times 2, okay, you have no problem doing this. The moment when you ask your friend to solve 15 times 29 on the spot, he probably will stop jogging and calculate for the answer. So you see, a simple activity like jogging can easily affect our slow brain. Another scenario that can show that slow brain is limited is that while your friend is calculating 15 times 29, you ask him to solve 55 times 74 at the same time. He probably cannot solve both at the same time. So when our slow brain occupied with one complex problem, when another complex problem comes in, it probably cannot take it and will let fast brain make the decision. And we have higher chance in making mistake in this kind of situation. But the great thing about human brain is that we naturally know that we have limitation with our slow brain. Just think of your friend is driving in the narrow roads and you guys are talking casually. The moment when your friend trying to overtake the car in front of him, in the narrow roads, you will automatically stop talking and let him concentrate. But your friend doesn't need to tell you that, okay, be quiet so that I can concentrate. You just naturally know that, okay, it is not the good idea for me to keep talking because he should be concentrate and he shouldn't be distracted. So you see, we just naturally know that we have limitation with our slow brain. So what do? We know slow brain can make better decision, can monitor our behavior, can follow rules, while fast brain is prone to make mistake, but it gives us all the creativity and intuition that we need. The answer is nothing much we can really do about it. It happens to everybody. What we can do is just to be more aware of it. It is like when you're in good mood, you know that your slow brain is weaker, you will need to be more careful on whatever you decide to do next. And also, you know both of these line has equal length. The horizontal line has equal length. But you just cannot stop your fast brain to think, to see the lower one to be longer. You cannot jog and at the same time solve 15 times 29. This is our nature. We can't really avoid it. But we can keep on learning, try to be better, try to improve ourselves so that our fast brain can make better decisions. It is like a fast move coming out from a normal chess player is totally different from the fast move that coming out from a professional chess player. A professional definitely able to make greater move with their fast brain compared to the normal chess player because the professional go through a lot of practice, a lot of training. So when we become better and better, for sure, our decision coming out from the fast brain can be better and better. We can also learn to mistrust the impression we have on something and try to interpret it in another way around with our slow brain. However, bias cannot always be avoided and our slow brain might have no clue about the error. As a human, it is not possible for us to stay cautious, to stay vigilant all the time. It is not ideal, and our slow brain is just too lazy and too slow to be the substitute of fast brain in making day-to-day and routine decisions. So what can we do? All we can do is just try our best to avoid the possible mistake, and only if we can really see the possible mistake. Alright, that's it for this video. I hope my video here gives you some better idea about fast brain and slow brain that we have in our head here. And tell me more about today's video here because I'm recording in my living room. Normally I record in my work room with all the blue lighting around me. Just let me know down in the comment whether I should make more video in the living room or more back in the work room. So thank you for watching. I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye.